Okay, today I'd like to talk about guilt-free spending, which sounds like a really attractive concept, of course, but how we manage cash flow is really, really critical. And if we do it well, we'll be able to afford a level of luxury in our life that, most hope to achieve, whilst also still making sure that we secure our financial future. And I like to think about expenses in four categories and think about spending those expenses in those four categories in very different ways. And as the image shows here, the first category is really basic living costs. These are the sorts of things that you must spend money on: petrol, utilities, insurance, mortgage repayments, rent, whatever it might be. These are the basic living expenses. They are what they are. There's not a lot of discretion associated with them. The next category are lifestyle expenses. This is all the fun stuff. This is the sort of stuff that impacts your quality of life. So, recreational activities, eating out, having fun, buying clothes, or other stuff that you might enjoy, everything that goes into that category. The next category are lifestyle assets. So these are things that aren't bought purely to fund your future retirement or increase the strength of your financial standing, but they're bought to improve your quality of life. So these are the sorts of things that either hold their value or increase in value, appreciate in value over time. So examples can include like a holiday house if it's in a great location, jewelry if it's the type of jewelry that appreciates in value, collectibles, these sorts of things. And the fourth category obviously is investing. This is the money that you put towards making sure that your financial position is stronger in the future and that you can have a comfortable retirement. Things like if you borrow to invest in property, the cash flow costs associated with that, additional super contributions, investing in the share market, these sorts of things. So there's really five observations I'd like to share with you with respect to how you might spend your money across these four categories. The first thing is you want to track lifestyle expenses at an aggregate level. So, how much are you spending on lifestyle expenses every week, fortnightly, or month? You don't necessarily need to look at each individual expense and track it separately, but you want to know at an aggregate level how much you're spending, because that's the sort of expenses that can get out of control if left unchecked. And the best way to do that is pay for all lifestyle expenses from a separate bank account. So when you get paid, transfer $1,000 into that spending account or whatever it might be. And that way, you know that if you do that every week, you're going to spend $52,000 on lifestyle expenses. But you want to have a way of tracking that total number across the course of a year. And that way you can work out if you've overspent in that category from time to time, and hopefully you'll consciously bring expenditure back into check. My second rule is make sure you spend just as much money on lifestyle expenses as you do on investing. So if you're going to spend $30,000 a year on lifestyle expenses, hopefully what you can do then is match that and invest $30,000 a year on some of the things that we've just spoken about. If you want to spend more on lifestyle expenses and do that guilt-free, that's fine. Just increase the amount that you invest by the same margin, and so that you can match that increased expenditure with increased investing. And if you can't invest anymore, well, maybe you need to actually reduce your lifestyle expenses so they do match how much you're investing. You want to try and, as much as possible, get those two things even. Don't worry so much about lifestyle assets. If you can afford to buy them and still invest, and still spend money for the future, invest money for the future, I should say, then buy the lifestyle expense. If it's going to improve your quality of your life, if it's something that you're really interested in and it's affordable and you can still invest for the future, why not? Make sure you minimize basic living expenses as much as possible. Most of these items don't have any impact on your quality of life. So, if you can get a better deal on your insurance or electricity or these sorts of things, every year or 6 months, you really need to run the ruler over these things and just make sure that you're not overpaying in any category, because if you have electricity in your house, it doesn't really matter the rate at which you're paying for it. All electricity is the same. And as I said, try and match the lifestyle expenses with the investing. And that's why I say it's guilt-free spending, because if you're investing a lot more than your lifestyle expenses, well, consider increasing your lifestyle expenses. Consider going out for more restaurant meals or go on an extra holiday, whatever floats your boat, whatever you get value from. But if you are investing a substantial amount, give yourself the permission to go out and spend a little bit more if that improves your standard of living. At the end of the day, none of us know how long we've got left on this planet, and we may as well enjoy the journey. I hope that's been interesting, and if you would like to learn more, certainly follow my podcast and blog, which I produce every week. The links are underneath the video. Cheers.